Leonardo back at you again, and this time I'm doing a restoration. When this Greco Beetle Bass copy came to me, it was really rusty and musty. It had been in a closet for decades, literally, and it hadn't been played, hadn't been looked at, probably hadn't been thought of. And actually my cousin brought it out to me so that I could redo it for his dad for a Happy Father's Day. So we took our time, did it right, and brought it back to better than original condition. And as it looks like an old Hofner Beetle bass or violin bass, it's actually a Greco. And Greco is a company that came out in the mid-'60s. And they did a lot of copies of things, copies of all sorts of instruments, right? So this is a Greco version of a Beetle bass. The most obvious thing, besides the headstock, is that it's a bolt-on neck instead of the either set neck or the dovetails, however they made the old originals, you know. So this one's still a really nice copy. Got a beautiful finish and a good sound to it. I'll kind of show you what the original condition was, and then show you what it looks like now. We did a full restoration on everything except the electronics. The electronics are still the original ones. I just cleaned them out real well and got them to function, you know. And I did a little change, which I'll tell you about. So the first thing that you got to know is that the original tuning pegs were busted. The original ones were like this, and these are cool. They kind of have a whale tail looking thing to them, and you just can't find them anymore, but they literally had gone bad. And when a tuner goes bad, what that means is something breaks that you can't fix or replace. So I couldn't find the actual gear housing that turns the post, so I just decided to preserve them how they were, scrap them, and they'll be there later when I find the right gears, you know. But in the meantime, I found some good replacement ones from WD that are still the same vintage style, just with the more universally known kind of clover leaf looking, you know, buttons. We did have to replace the nut. The nut was originally a piece of plastic that was rather kind of poorly cut, really high, really weak, and so I replaced it with a nice piece of unbleached bone. Did a nice job with the nut there to lay smoothly over the 0 fret, which is another cool detail that Greco copied from the Hofners. And the 0 fret, you know, go ahead and do some research about it if you want, but it's a good way to make the neck play a little smoother and a little bit slower, not slower, lower. And so it's kind of a cool detail. And when we go all the way back to the bridge had a giant crack in it, and the crack had to be repaired. So I took a piece of rosewood, matched it up with the crack in the bridge, and repaired that. Reslotted the bridge and put new saddles that are made of fret wire, just like the old ones were. Like I said, we left the electronics alone. We just cleaned out everything to make sure they functioned correctly and gave it a real good cleaning. Hang on one second. Hey, you like this in? That's my Uncle George. He's awesome. He's why I'm able to do all this in this rat space. So huge thanks to George. He can come in here whenever he wants. It's really his place. So where were we? Where was we?
The bridge.
The bridge. Yeah. Thanks. That's AJ back there. Way back there.
What's up?
Say hi, AJ. Okay. Electronics, we just cleaned them out. Everything looks and works as good or better than it did originally. A few little dings and chips were repaired and filled, and now we have a bass that was saved from the scrap heap. A lot of times what happens is you get a guitar that stops performing the way you want it to, and it doesn't stay in tune, or the strings feel weird, or the sound starts to crackle or something like that, and you think, oh, my guitar is screwed, I gotta get a new guitar, I gotta sell it to a pawn shop or something. Bring it to someone. Bring it to somebody like me, somebody who knows what's going on, and they can find the pieces that are causing the problems and fix those pieces so you can save the whole instrument. If you would have gone with thinking, oh, the bass doesn't stay in tune at all, then it would have just stayed in this closet forever and ever and ever. So people like us are cool to know, because when you find something that doesn't exactly fit you right, ain't making you happy, bring it on down, man, and we'll get it looked at, we'll get it fixed up, we'll get it right back to you, and you keep playing music that you love to do. So we're going to show you how it sounds. The pickups are really, really far apart for an electric bass. Usually they're kind of closer together. And this is kind of an extreme thing, right? So depending on where you put your hands, you get a pretty extreme difference in sound. And I'm going to show you an extra cool thing I did where I replaced the tone knob, which is still here, with what I call a kaboom. and that's when you put in an extra value capacitor to give a big bass kick to what you want to do. So we're going to play some stuff. We're going to have some fun. Nice, classy, hollow sound. Remember when I told you about kaboom? Huh! So that's a pretty powerful switch you got in there. So there she is, the Greco bass. Awesome. Yo! Hey, awesome. Actually, this is his bass.
Oh,
check it out.
Are you filming?
Man. Yeah, we're done.
Oh, cool, man.
That's her, brother.
What?
Check it out. Give it a shot. Give it a shot. Here, you just gotta turn around.